Welcome to Aging with Purpose and Passion, the podcast designed to inspire your greatness and thrive through life. Get ready to conquer your fears. Here's your host, psychotherapist, coach, and empowerment expert, Beverley Glazer.
Well, we all know a kid who was different in high school. That girl who just didn't fit in. Some kids are scarred for life when that happens, but others take their uniqueness to a whole other level. They embrace it. If you're determined to celebrate life, I have a treat for you. I'm Beverley Glazer, a therapist and empowerment expert for women over 50, boomers and beyond, and I help women find their spark and live their purpose. And my guest today is Paulette Rees-Denis, dancer, speaker, author, and in her own words, a tribal hostess, gathering creative women from all around the world. Hi, Paulette.
Hey, Beverly.
Great.
So thank you for having me here. It's great to see you again.
It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Paulette, you told me that back in high school in Long Island, you felt like a freak and you felt different. What effect did that have on you back then?
Well, okay. I was in Ohio at that point, but that's okay. I was born in Long Island.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's clarify that.
Yeah.
Way back when you were a kid, wherever you were.
Right. Right. Well, I always felt different. And I was very creative. I danced every day. I wanted to be a dancer and I wanted to be a writer. So I read and I danced every day. And I never fit in. I mean, there were the freaks and there were the jocks. And, there were different, back then, there were different like labels for school people. And I fit in with everybody, but I didn't fit in with anybody.
Right. So you were like alone.
I was alone.
You felt different.
Yeah. And it didn't bother me.
Oh.
I mean, I just did my stuff. I did the things I wanted to do. I hung out with the people I wanted to hang out with, and I kept creating and forging forward.
So you sounded like just a little independent kid.
Yeah. Just like,
and
I'm not like you, and I'm not like you, and I don't want to be like you, and I don't want to be like you, and I want to be like me. So there's gotta be a way.
Okay, right. So that was very young. You just interpreted that I am me and I will be whoever I am, which is unusual because most girls in particular find their little cliques.
Right.
And they kind of stay together with one another. But you were saying, no, I'm an independent little person and I'm going to do my thing. When did you first start dancing?
Oh, when I was 7.
7. And was that encouraged?
Oh yeah, totally. So my mom was a dancer and a singer. And so I started totally classically trained, ballet, jazz, did a tap, did acrobats for a very short time. But I was really attuned to jazz and I loved choreography. I started teaching at my dance studio when I was in my teens. Did that every day. And then I was told that I would never be a dancer.
Really?
Because I didn't have the right body.
Right.
When I tried to go to a dance high school and they rejected me. And I said, well, screw you. Because that ain't stopping me. And bam, right? So, yeah. And, it just goes to show that you got to follow what you believe in and what your heart says you want to do.
Yes. And not only that, because you were that little independent thinking child, you just said, okay, that's not going to destroy me. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if you don't think I have a body for dance, someone will, and I'm going to just do it.
Yeah. And that turned into this global empire. And little did I know back then what I would be doing today.
Yes.
Is empowering women of all ages and all sizes and all cultures and all backgrounds
That's
to move their bodies and honor themselves.
It's so exciting. And you had classical training. So what intrigued you from classical training into belly dancing and tribal dancing and groove dancing? How did you get into that?
God. Like I said, I just love to dance. I love to dance and I love to teach. So back in the day, back in San Francisco, in the 80s, I was in rock bands. I went to art school. I had lived in New York City. I was a photographer. I dabbled in so many things, as I think you all should.
Yep, I agree with you. Yep.
It's like, I'm not going to pick something at age 20 and do that for the rest of my life. I mean, maybe some people have that calling.
Mm-hmm.
I had a calling for many things, multi-passionate. And I wanted to experience many, many things. Right. I think people get stuck. And my dad used to say, when are you going to pick one thing? And I'm like, I'm not going to pick one thing. Now, there's some truth to that. And that's like another story. But
but belly dancing, that is so far removed from classical dancing.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. Complete opposite.
Fall in love with that.
Well, so in the 80s, when I was in San Francisco, I started exploring other styles of dance. So Spanish and Indian, and I mean, just, anything that I could kind of taste. As I was getting back into the dance world. And I came across my teacher at that point, and she was developing a style. And so I was like her only student at the time. And then we developed the style. And it was belly dance, and it got termed tribal belly dance because it was a group-oriented dance. Mm-hmm. And then I performed and danced with her for 5 years and then moved away. But there was something about this dance. There was something deep. There was some spiritual connection. There was a physical connection. There was an emotional connection because we were dancing together. We were raising energy. We were creating magic. We were empowering each other, whether it be for an audience or just for our circle. Right. So I didn't want to copy her as an artist. I wanted to develop my own style. And that was just something that I was really good at, something that I've always had a flavor for. And I had no idea. All I wanted to do back then was unite women of the world. And this was before computers. I just had this vision. It's like, this is intrinsic in us as women. This is deep. This is ancestral.
Yes, yes. And when you speak with such passion. And you traveled the world dancing, performing. And today, as a vibrant 64-year-old woman, do you still dance and perform as well?
No, I have retired from performing. What I have done is develop the style to teach others. So I not only have taught the dancers, but I've taught the teachers. And now I have my own tribe of master teachers and certified teachers. There's definitely different levels. And I've empowered them to develop their own businesses as well as their dance style and their passions to go out and spread the love, gather the tribes. And so they're doing that work. And I kind of shifted into another part of the work, right? Which is being a creative business coach and an author and a poet.
Right. Which is all completely creative. It just keeps growing and going further and further. And the way you talk about the dance and talk about these teachers, you have all this composite of styles from urban and folk and ritual and trance and belly dancing and modern. It sounds like so much fun. Do you need previous dance experience to join?
No, I have women who start when they're 60. I have women who start when they're 20. Doesn't matter. It's a dance for everybody and everybody.
I like that you said that.
Yeah.
So it's everybody. Mm-hmm. And anybody who has an interest, what would you say to somebody that says, no, it's everybody except mine? I'm too fat, or I, never had any dance experience. I dance in front of the mirror. What would you say to someone like that?
Oh, so much. It's really about of connecting with your inner self first and allowing yourself to move. Doesn't matter what shape you are. Like in ballet, you have to be a certain shape, which is what they told me I wasn't.
That's right.
And it's divine feminine beauty. And yes, there are men that dance. So I'm not leaving them out, but to me, it is definitely has that feminine spirit. I love it when men dance. Oh my God, to see men dance drives me crazy. I love it. But my expertise is in working with women.
Okay. And so they develop your passion, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Come in and, you cannot not get that passion because you have such a love for it. And it's kept you vital and young and energetic and beautiful. And looking back on your life, would you have made any changes?
Well, in the big picture, no. I have loved what I've done. I have traveled the world. Freedom and fun.
That sounds good to me.
Our values, very highly, highly treasured values. I think there's probably would have been things that I would have done business-wise early on that I did not know, which is why I am now a business coach.
Right.
So I help others not make some of the same mistakes I did. And to embrace abundance, embrace making money as a woman entrepreneur, embrace being different, embrace having a vision, a creative vision.
And being the person you are, being yourself is what I hear throughout this whole thing. And what does retirement mean to you, if anything?
Well, I've retired from performing because it doesn't ring my bell like it used to. I'm quite a ham. I love being on stage. I love being on stage. I love these. I love interviews. I love talking with people. I love finding people's stories. I love telling my stories. But like I said, that's just not where my heart is anymore after this many years. I've continued to grow my own creative process. So retirement, I mean, there was definitely a time. I was type A. There was a time I worked 24/7. And I burn out many times. And then I would have to run away, and then I would come back, and then I would do the same thing again.
Right.
And that's, again, another reason why I love to be a coach, so that I can help people not do those things. Because no one was there to help me at that point. I was like, I'm going to do it all myself. I'm going to, screw you. I'm not going to listen to anybody, and I'm going to try to do this. Well, I did it.
Right. And so today what I'm hearing is you would just have more direction.
Yeah.
However, I don't see retirement for you. I see the continued creative process.
Oh, if I'm not creative, I'm dead.
I'm hearing you.
Right? Right? I'm sure you feel the same way.
Absolutely. If I'm not, yes, exactly. You have to have value. You have to have purpose, and you just keep on going. Is there something I didn't ask you that you'd like other people to know?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Really, it comes down to connecting with yourself. I mean, I did say that, but self-compassion, self-love, self-listening. Listening is an art form in and of itself.
It is. Yes, it
listening
is.
to yourself as well as listening to others.
Yes.
And to know that you can follow your dreams, no matter how wild and crazy they are. There's a way to step outside of the box, to get out of the rut, to get off the couch,